So what you're about to witness is probably the most cringeworthy gameplay you'll ever see. Viewers, you've been warned. So this clip is from Ventura Beat and its lead writer for GamesBeat, who has been writing and covering the games industry for 18 years. Dean got his hands on Cuphead and originally posted up a video titled Cuphead Demo at Gamescom. It isn't easy. Which sounds like it's almost the game's fault, right? So I want you to watch the following clip, and you tell me if the problem appears to be with the game. Now you may be asking yourself, gee, I wonder why the hell he keeps on doing the same damn jump over and over and over. You know, why not try something new? It's obviously not working. Why not try reading the few words on the screen? I mean, this is a writer, so, reading is half the job. But he says it didn't say stand on a rock which is further away because dash will take you higher and further than you can jump. This is real, folks. This isn't a troll. Like, I would give him huge kudos and props if he was a professional troll, but he's not. And there is 25 minutes of this gameplay that I can assure you, it doesn't get any better. And it's as if in 18 years of professionally covering video games, he's never played a scroller before. He's never played shooters and is incapable of learning from basic mistakes. These are basic mechanics that have been in games since their inception. And I don't expect anybody to pick up a game and be great at it the first time, but I do expect video game journalists to have basic understandings of how to play video games. I really don't think that's that too much to ask. Now, I want to be clear, I'm not trying to slam this guy or pick fun of him. That's really low-hanging fruit. So I don't want him to feel bad, but at the same time, this says a lot about the industry. This is a professional, paid video game journalist and reviewer. And I know sometimes the truth hurts, but let's be real. This guy should not be reviewing video games professionally for a major outlet. And this isn't the first time that he's been called out either. He's issued an infamous apology for the original Mass Effect, which he slammed in a review, slammed the creators, slammed the mechanics of the game. And then once he posted up the review, people started pointing out, they said, look, you didn't even allocate any skill points to the character. Like, again, a very basic concept in those types of games. And so he had to issue a big apology saying, you know what, I tried it again and I was wrong. I actually used the skill points and that ended up helping. In his own article about Cuphead, he states that it took him a long time to realize that jumping on enemies was hurting him. And again, most people, if you're a gamer, you would recognize that it was hurting you the first time that you did it. Your character starts flashing, which again is a mechanic that's been in games for a long time, letting you know that you're taking health. And also, your health is going down. Like, there's a number letting you know that your health point is going down every time that you try to jump on him. The same thing was happening when you tried to run into him face first. And so it just drives me up the wall, because these are the type of people who write reviews that get added to places like Metacritic, where people run and post them up as gospel. They're the people who get sent on trips to these game conferences. They get early access and behind-the-scenes access to developers and games. They get free review copies and swag from gaming companies. And why? Why? Because they went to college, they got a whole lot of debt, and they managed to walk out with a piece of paper. So let's give you a job in the game industry. And it's embarrassing. And look, it wouldn't matter if this was some blogger, writing on his own free WordPress site, who also did his own YouTube channel. Nobody would have a problem with it. But it's not that. This is a professional writer in the industry who works for a major publication and who plays like a 4-year-old. And then he goes on to imply that this is the game's fault and saying that developers need to warn the public that their game is hard. Here's what he said in response to criticism. Someone said, "What the hell, man? You call yourself a game journalist. Why even post this?" And here's what he responded with. "I've watched the comments on this thread just to see how mean they would be. I think it's useful to show my gameplay experience. I did not intentionally play poorly to troll anybody, but it serves as an interesting social experiment. I walk into a game cold, and this is the play that results. The video shows it's a notch more difficult than your typical Mario game. In fact, if you're expecting Mario, as the story says, then you are thrown off. And it shows that the developers are going to leave a lot of people who are worse than me behind." Like, I can't see a whole lot of people being much worse. But he goes on to say maybe they're fine with that. Maybe they want to target gamers with a love for difficult games. I mean, my God, dude, it was just the tutorial that you were having problems with. That's fine, but I think that they should signal that. How many games actually come with a tutorial these days? They're not popular. But if it's necessary, that is a signal that this is going to require some skill. As for other comments on this thread, I wonder why they are so hostile to somebody who is viewing the game as a beginner. Are we that intolerant of people who are not gamers? Should I have played the scene over and over until I was good at it and then turn the recording on like so many of those perfect video walkthroughs that you see? And I want to go back to the point where he said, should we be intolerant of people who are not gamers? Dude, you're supposed to be a gamer. You're writing for the game industry. So then he goes on to say, I believe that games can be made accessible and inviting to people who are not hardcore fans, and these people can be accommodated inside the same game that is appealing to hardcore fans through difficulty levels. So when people tell me that I shouldn't be playing this game because on my first play I was pretty lousy, that's an attitude that argues that games should be shut off in their own little corner, only played publicly by the masters and the experts. I disagree with that view entirely, and I believe it leads to elitist attitudes that allow gamers to look down on other people, and that only leads to a more fragmented world of haters. Okay, please. Spare me the victim card mentality. I'm so sick of that. Nobody is saying that you shouldn't be able to sit down and enjoy or publicly show and play games because you suck at it. They're saying that you shouldn't be a professional video game journalist if you suck at it. That does it for me, the Red Dragon. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah.